Hello everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Thursday, May 31st, 2018. I'm Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Owen Money.
That's unfortunate.
Wow.
Please remember, everybody, you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet, picking up some merchandise in the link below. We are having an Ask Us Anything in 22 short episodes that will be on episode 500. Please send those questions to us wherever you possibly can, whether it's in the live chat that we have on Facebook and YouTube at 6 p.m. Alaska time, or by dropping us a comment on any of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, all of which are at iRedditcast. We also have a subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/iRedditcast, as well as an email, which is iReddit@mjolnir.media. So, Mr. Money?
Yeah.
Mr. Money, how are you today?
Please. Mr. Money is my father.
Oh, okay. Owen.
Just call me Owen, dude.
Owen, how are you today, sir?
No. It's Owen, dude.
Oh, Owen, dude. How you doing today?
Righteous.
Righteous, yeah. Anyway.
No, I'm doing pretty good. We had a fucking potluck because it was Lester's birthday.
Oh, man.
Hold on, I need to turn this light on. But yeah, it was Lester's birthday. It was great. I'm fairly happy for him. He hit the triple digits, you know.
No, he did not.
Well, I mean, you know, he's a fucking wizard. He's been there forever.
Yeah, just because he's been at a job for 25 years doesn't mean that he's 100 years old.
Yo, what are you talking about?
How old is he anyway? Like 50?
I didn't think to ask him. I thought that'd be kind of rude.
That's like the one day you're allowed to ask, buddy.
It doesn't matter. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he does. He looks incredible.
He is ageless.
He really is. And an incredible individual that I miss.
I'm going to see him when I'm his age, and he's going to look the exact same, and I'm going to be like, I fucking knew it.
Is he a Keanu?
He's exactly a Keanu. He decides not to be famous. He's very humble. It's appreciative, you know.
It's an easier life that way.
Yeah.
Keanu's just going through, you know, one of his phases. He's like, I'll be famous this, quote, lifetime. Then I'll die, and then I'll wait a little while, and then I'll come back as, you know...
Die.
Maybe I'll be a fisherman or something next time.
I think that would be kind of fun for a little bit, you know? You get to pick lives over and over again.
I mean, that's like Highlander, you know, every, 25 years that they traveled to the other kingdom, and they were always the son that left 25 years ago, of the dude that left 25 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy way to fucking pull that shit off. Genetics are fucking, you know, great.
Yeah, man.
The seed is strong, Ned.
Perfect. Anyway. So you had a potluck? That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was great. Someone brought some adobo. Actually, two people brought two different kinds of adobo, and it was great.
I about just, like, shouted in my office in anger. So...
Why?
We had a like 10-year-old massive office copier, right? Big old office copier scanner, big machine like you see in, you know, office TV shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it used to be able to scan directly to our network drive into a folder, so you could stick like 500 pages in it, and it would scan them in, and then it'd just be right there immediately available for you in the network.
That's real nice.
Yeah, it was real nice. And then one day that stopped working. And over the next, 3 months, we were working with IT until we finally found out why it didn't work anymore. And that is because the state of Alaska updated their security protocol, and the printer, because it was older, no longer met those security standards. So it was no longer allowed to do that. We're like, okay, that sucks. Well, recently, our executive...
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, it was real upsetting. And they're like, well, you can scan it to your email, but... You, have to wait for it to send it to your email, and there's a limit on the file size. You can't send anything more than, 10 megabytes, which, when you're trying to archive old documents, is atrocious, because it means you can only scan, 20 pages. So we're like, all right.
20.
20. Yeah, 20. There's sometimes...
That's not even a document.
No, it's not. It's a fucking pamphlet. And so... our executive director decides finally that it's time for us to go ahead and get a new printer because all of the printers we had were old, and said, find out with IT which printer we need so that we can get our full functionality back. I talked to IT, and they're like, cool, you want either one of the new Xeroxes, a new HPs, or a new Sharp. Cool. We ended up getting the newest model for the Sharp massive multifunction copier scanners for offices.
Yeah.
And
I bet every girl's crazy for it.
Oh man, everyone's excited. It scans super
sharp.
nice. It prints super fast. Real clean print pages. Gorgeous. And they got it set up, and it could scan to our emails. And then they're like, "Well, it's going to take us a little bit to get it set up so it can scan to the network." And then the IT guy comes back and goes, "Well, actually, I don't think we'll be able to set it up so that it can scan to the network."
Why?
You what? And they explain that because they cannot install antivirus and security measures directly onto the printer, that they don't think that they'll be able to get it to where it is cleared to, while it could access the state network, they don't believe that it would be cleared to do so. So we had asked them, which printer do we need to buy to be able to do this? They told us what printer. We buy that printer for $11,000, and now we're being told that it doesn't do that. Literally the sole purpose that we bought the machine.
Get fucked.
Yeah, sucks to fucking suck, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it really does. Except it wasn't for certain at that point in time, and it still isn't. And one of our assistants is dealing with that to try and figure it out and get it adjusted and see if we can't make it happen. But I'm just sitting in my office fucking stewing. Like, I'm gonna be so mad.
I thought of a new button.
What's that?
We need a new button where it's just it's from "Fuck You" by CeeLo Green. It's just, ain't that some shit?
Yes. Yeah, I will be livid. I will be unwaveringly angry if our office just spent $11,000 on a machine for the specific purpose that we wanted, and we're told that that machine would be a good one to buy for that purpose, and are now being told that we can't use it for that purpose.
Yo, all right, you want to hear a fucked off story of today?
Yes.
All right, so this lady comes in yesterday.
Who cares about news?
This lady comes in yesterday trying to change her name, and on her change of name, it is the same exact name from what she is to what she's going to. And the reason is because on all of her documents, her name is one way, except for on her ID, where it's hyphenated. So she wants to change her name on her ID. But the people at the DMV are like, no, you have to have a court order in order to do that. She comes into the courthouse, and we're like, yo, actually, you don't, because by court rules, or by DMV rules, all you really need is a bit of it, identification from these other places that you can do. And you can do that by going to Social Security and doing that and whatnot. So she goes over to Social Security. She starts there. And they're like, yeah, we can do that. And they start doing the process. She's like, great. She goes to the DMV to show them that. The DMV's like, no, you have to have a court order. And she's like, no, can I talk to your manager? And they're like, no, we have a manager in training, and no, you can't talk to the manager. They block her from talking to the manager for an hour. Then she comes back to the courthouse. She tells me all of this. I then get her the phone number to the Juneau DMV, and she talks to them for, an hour. Oh, God, my throat hurts. I'm getting sick again.
You gotta drink.
Anyways. And they're like, yeah, I don't know why the fuck they're doing that, because they should absolutely be letting you change your goddamn ID. And everybody is telling the DMV they should let them change her goddamn ID. And so she even gets the ombudsman involved because, well, fuck, why not?
Sure.
But by the end of today, she decides, fuck it anyways. I'm going to do it anyways. I have the expendable $200. I'm just going to start the process, even if it's going to get kicked out because it's one name to another name.
That's ridiculous.
And then she's like, when I go to the ombudsman, I'm going to tell them that you guys are the fucking best because you're actually helpful. And she got my name and my supervisor, Andy's name down.
Congratulations, sir. Way to get some kudos.
I hope that goes in my eval.
I do too. Shall we actually talk about some news?
Yeah, sure.
You guess? Guess
Yeah.
we could? All right.
Yeah.
5,
California Senate votes to restore net neutrality.
This was submitted by Mavanigan to our news. Mavanigan.
So,
for
California
Dorian.
Senate voted on Wednesday to approve a bill that would reinstate net neutrality regulations that were recently repealed by the Federal Communications Commission that were repealed back in December, Title II, net neutrality, whatever you want to call it. The bill, SB 822, will restore the majority of the provisions from the Obama-era 2015 Title II provisions. It is also going to be putting forth the prohibition on zero-rating programs. If you do not know what a zero-rating program is, they didn't get very far because they were quickly shut down by a very large number of the governments across the nation. And that was like, oh, we have a data cap, but if you use Netflix to watch your shows, Netflix doesn't count against your data cap. They have a zero rating. And that gives an unfair advantage to some companies over others, and you're starting to choose favorites, which you're not allowed to do. And so that was very quickly shot down as something that was illegal. But with the repeal of Title II and the rest of the net neutrality regulations, that was something that people were able to start doing again. And California said no.
Cool.
So, even
That's
if
awesome.
the CRA looks to be dead, despite getting past the Senate, the states one at a time slowly are reinstating their own net neutrality rules, regardless of what anyone wants to say about it.
That's fucking cool. I hope that sets a precedence for other fucking states. Because net neutrality is a good thing.
I have an itch in a spot in my back that I just barely can't reach. It is atrocious and terrible, and it makes me want to... Can I reach it with this? No. Nathan, I'm just going to have to sit here and suffer.
Good.
I mean, Owen, dude, I'm going to just have to sit here and suffer.
Yeah.
So, net neutrality will live on just one state at a time, very slowly as it creeps its way across the nation.
Very, very slowly.
4,
Suicidal man calls New Jersey cops for help. They beat him so badly that he needed surgery.
This is submitted by Amber Joy Vincent to our news.
So a man in New Jersey is suicidal. He calls 911. Technically, the fire department escorts him to the hospital to be mentally evaluated. Police accompany him as well. And he was already unstable because, well, suicidal people are mentally unstable. And while they were in the lobby, the hospital provided him a wheelchair. Was like, here, just sit here. We'll move you, later. And so one cop is up at the counter working on some paperwork. The other cop is next to him. And apparently the guy insulted one of the cops and then threw something, not at the officers, just threw something because he was upset, irritated, and not right in the brain at that point in time. So the officer's reaction to this was to punch him in the face, push his wheelchair over, and crush his neck into the floor.
That sounds like the correct answer to me.
No, that is not.
No?
No. That's,
No?
considering now he needed actual surgery at that point because they broke his face.
Damn!
The same two officers then accompany him to his, his restroom where he's in an actual hospital bed and stuff.
I used to be able to say that in Portuguese, and I don't remember how to.
And one of the officers then is filming this victim with his cell phone, puts on a surgical glove, at which point the victim then taunts the officer again, to which the officer then goes over to the man's hospital bed and beats the living F out of him right there in the hospital bed.
Fuck. Maybe they should start vetting these police officers more.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder how many police officers have had, a domestic violence charge against them at some point.
Well, both of these officers have been fired.
Well, yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
No fucking shit.
So.
I swear to God, if they didn't fire him, there would be riots.
Yeah. I'm so amazed at this. I don't even know how to fully respond because,
what their fucking heads? What?
Well, and, a suicidal person is already not in a good state of mind. And, I mean, it is not uncommon for people to try to commit suicide by police. And so if this dude who is suicidal is taunting the police officers, and the police officers' reaction is to beat him into the ground.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It's not okay. Man, we really do have a problem with our police officers.
We do. Like, there's so many good ones out there, but man, is it just completely overshadowed by all of the news surrounding how many bad ones there are.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
It baffles me.
Really should do more vetting on these fucking police officers. I swear to fucking...
3.
ABC may consider putting Roseanne co-stars on a new show.
This is submitted by Katana America to our television.
So ABC...
Roseanne without Roseanne?
Basically, ABC has a contract with all of the stars that starred, all of the actors and actresses that starred on Roseanne. And they either can pay them what their contract says and not, have them air on anything, or they can just cut Roseanne's contract and then figure out something to do with the other people, like Laurie Metcalf and John Goodman. So what they're thinking is to just make a new show. And they could retain a lot of the names, even call the show something like Meet the Bonners or something like that, and just retain everything. But they can't have Roseanne's name on it, and it can't be part of that original IP because Roseanne created the show Roseanne. So if they just kept Roseanne moving but without her, she would still benefit from it. She would still get money
how they
from
would write
it.
her off.
I don't know. Throw her in jail for something. I don't know.
Pretend she didn't exist and make weird allusions to it.
Maybe. So, they are looking to create a new show with all of the cast of Roseanne minus Roseanne.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, especially because there's a lot of people that really liked everyone else on the show. Like, the person that I disliked the most on Roseanne was Roseanne herself. I didn't think she was funny. I don't like her.
Dude, to be fair, like, John Goodman was the best part of Roseanne anyways.
Sure.
Like, John Goodman and what's her fucking name?
So, they will have to see what they can manage, but this isn't confirmed or anything yet. This is just ABC currently in talks of deciding whether they want to, keep going in another direction, because not only will they be losing out on the money that is involved with having to pay those the stars of the show, they will also be missing out on a significant amount of ad revenue, which is ballpark to be around $60 million.
That's what's up.
So it would be in their best financial interest to find a new place to put them.
Yeah, just put them on a new show.
2.
I'm fairly certain it would be a hit because, like, they were the driving factor in the first place.
Yeah. Stockton, California is the first North American city to test a simple yet unorthodox experiment called Universal Basic Income.
This is submitted by Series 2 Per to our Futurology.
Nathan, you and I had talked about universal basic income several times in the past. A real quick crash course on what that is that the wage differential between poor people and rich people just continues to get larger, and it's going to be more difficult to find even decent paying work with the rise of automation, because things like even McDonald's are starting to have tellers and stuff that are just touch screens. And so the concern is, what do you do when almost everything in your life is automated and there's nowhere really to get to work unless you are in a very, very specialized field? And one of these suggestions was universal basic income. And what it is that basically it'd be kind of like sharing the wealth of that. Specific companies and automation and stuff like that would have to give up portions of their profits that would go into a pool that would then be equally divided amongst people. Normally it'd just be a set amount. In this particular case, Stockton, California is wanting to test that. They're going to be choosing 100 families, and those families will be receiving $500 a month without any questions asked.
That's real nice.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, universal basic income is something that has been talked about, but it is very difficult to implement because it's such a risky thing.
Yeah, it really is. It's because a lot of people worry that if people start getting this money, they're just going to stop working. But it's really such an inconsequential amount in today's market. Like, you can't live off of $500.
Well, no, but the idea is that if you are not making much money, it is a supplement to the little bit of money that you do make.
Which could help immensely. And I think it's a good idea in a lot of places. But you really have to be, like, qualified for it.
A lot of people see universal basic income as more of like a temporary Band-Aid. It doesn't solve the problem, but
No.
it just kind of kicks the can really far down the road.
A lot of the time, you're not really solving a problem, though. You're just applying so many fucking Band-Aids onto it until you hope that somehow stems the bleeding.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I like the idea and the concept of it because I do believe that people have the right to specific things in life. And
is money a specific thing that they have the right to?
No, but, well, it is either you give them money to buy things like food, or you try to do what communism did and you hand them food, and that doesn't work very well.
Well, I mean, if you can fund the Meals on Wheels, it kind of works.
Sure. But also...
the problem is people stop funding that shit.
Well, and it's even more complicated than that because, I mean, you can't just give everyone the same food because some people have allergies and stuff like that. And, you know, you can't just give everyone the same size home because while I have one child, I know people that have, like, 4. And we don't want to get to the point of where we're like China where, like, you're only allowed to have 1 kid because we only give you 2-bedroom apartments because that's what you are given in life. So there needs to be a level of flexibility and freedom, but without the severe amount of oppression that happens to the vast majority of Americans and people across the world. Okay, so here's what you do, right?
There are so many box services on the internet.
Sure.
What you do is you, as a government, contact all these box services and set up a deal with them where half of a payment for certain families that reach a certain threshold get paid by the government instead so that they can start getting those box services cheaper. With those box services, you can get pretty much anything.
Sure.
Food included. Blue Apron exists.
Yeah. It's a thought.
Which, I mean, we're not sponsored by Blue Apron yet, but...
No, but that doesn't mean you can't suggest it as a good idea.
I would love to be sponsored by Blue Apron and MeUndies. Like, my undies keep tearing, and I feel like MeUndies are strong enough that they can withstand the terribleness of my dryer. And if you're listening, MeUndies, that was just off the top of my head. I can email you some better ideas if you want to sit down and talk or something.
Have you ever owned any of those?
No.
It's like because they're actually pretty expensive. I don't know if they're stronger than regular, but I do know that they're pricey. Anywho, shall we move on, sir?
Yeah.
1.
Police faked 258,000 breath tests in shocking breach of trust.
Oh. This was submitted by Foul Balls to Our World News.
So this was actually in Australia.
That's a lot of breath tests.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in Australia. It was Victorian police, and it wasn't faking it in a way that hurts the public. I mean, I guess faking it at all could kind of hurt the public. Anyway, it wasn't that they were faking it to get people caught. Is that they had 258,000 falsified breath tests that were clean breath tests. And so what it is that the Victorian police they believe the cause of it is because Victorian police have a very strict quota that they need to try and meet, which is a terrible idea in my opinion when it comes to police as a whole, but that's a different conversation. And so they believe that the officers were either holding their finger over the straw opening so that it wouldn't register, or blowing into the breathalyzers themselves so that it would blow clean so that they could get more people done rather than, oh man, this person actually, didn't blow completely clean, so now we have to go through this massive process, which means I won't meet my quota this month.
That's kind of shitty, though.
It is, and the chief of the police is talking about how this breaks the trust of the public, and it really hurts the vision of how the public views the police. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a result of your own doing, though.
I feel like there's two ways to view lower numbers when it comes to police numbers, right? You can either view it as, oh man, the numbers are low because they're not doing hardly jack shit, or their numbers are low because crime is low.
Sure.
And I would like to think that crime is low.
We can hope so, but they still have to meet the same numbers, which is annoying.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, no, it is. It's stupid. I've never agreed with the concept of police quotas because anywhere that exists, you get people that are just trying to meet that number in any way they can, even if it's not by legitimate means.
Yeah. Not to mention you try and get overachievers as well. That also fucks with people.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what did you care about in the last 24 hours? Or do you even know?
I really don't know. I care about playing D&D after this.
Right on. It's like
Because
you don't always have. There's been days that I've went, I got nothing. Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I get to meet a lord tonight, which is cool.
Cool.
Might play some Monster Hunter. The new monster is fucking bullshit and it's completely rude, and I love it.
Good luck then, sir.
Thank you.
Posthumously changing the names of mass shooters and domestic terrorists to things like Indiana Idiot, the California Clown Number 4, and Texas Twat.
This is submitted by Shaky Jake to our crazy ideas.
I'm not sure if it's a great idea or not, because
it's a crazy idea.
Because we already don't release.
It says it right there, Michael.
I got it, Nathan. We already don't release the names or the faces of anyone that's involved with anything like a shooter. But I feel like if you give them like quirky nicknames, it'll make them more memorable, which we'd prefer that they were not.
I don't think it'd make it more memorable. What I feel like I feel like it diminishes the
severity.
The severity of it, yeah.
Sure. I do understand the concept of it, though, although I do like the suggestion of as to try and raise more awareness to it instead of something like this, literally just American mass shooter number 23, American mass shooter number 24, instead of saying names, so that you don't give them anything at all, and it does still give a little bit of insight into how many has happened, and maybe reset it every year or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just at the beginning of every year, wipe it over. Start at, for 2018, number 1.
Yeah. Because we'd already be up to a number like 30 or something depressing.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to get out of here, friend?
Yeah, I can go and do D&D stuff. Actually, I also have to go and deposit my paycheck and pay rent.
You do that, sir. All right. Please remember, everybody, we'll be holding an Ask Us Anything on episode 500. Submit those questions to us anywhere that you can get in contact to us, which is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of which are at iRedditCast. You can leave a comment on the subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/iRedditCast, or via email, which is iReddit@mjolnir.media. If you do want to catch the show live and have the live chat there available to contact and talk to us with, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook and YouTube. Otherwise, download the audio-only version on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. If you leave us 5-star reviews on any of those, that's a very free and incredibly helpful way to support the show. You can follow me on social media at Schwahn Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein, and that is your 478th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Owen Money.
And please remember, everybody, have a good day, everyone.
Bye.